Brothers and sisters, friends and family, much love and blessings to all of you guys. May the baraka of Yahuwah be up on you guys, and may you and your family all be blessed. Friends and family, thank you very much for taking this time to spend some time talking and discussing scriptures and discussing the amazing words of our Creator and the amazing words of His Son. When I say we, I'm talking about my family and I. There's 5 of us, and we are what you would call law keepers. We believe that Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy is a beautiful, beautiful set of rules that has been made to give us life and to give us health and to give us things that religion has told us to forget about, and that religion tells us that there's no value on these laws of our Creator. They will say they're for the old Jews or for God's chosen people. And in fact, they are for the chosen people of Yahuwah. And his name is not God. His name is Yahuwah, Yod-Hed, Wav-Hed, or Vav-He. There's a lot of arguments for it, but it's closer than God. God is just a surtitle. There's lots of gods, but our Creator Yahuwah, aka God, has given us a path, and this path has been blessings in our lives if this path is followed. But when we don't follow this path and we fall into man's curses and we fall into the curses that come from not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. One of these commandments that majority of religions don't keep is the dietary food guidelines. To their detriment and to their sickness and to their health, they will eat unclean foods that are not meant to be eaten by humans, and they will end up in the hospital. And inside the hospital, they may get some sort of weird staph infection. That staph infection may grow and they may die. Simply because they were eating unclean foods, right? This is why our Creator has given us a set of rules and set of guidelines, and they're beautiful. Things like don't drink blood, don't look at your family members naked, don't harm the disabled, have proper weights and measurements, right? We're not to go around ripping people off. So when we take rules such as these and we say, you know what, they've been nailed to the cross, they don't matter to us anymore. We have a new way forward, and this new way forward is, well, you know what it is. It's the new way forward. And when you hold a doctrine of any religion up to scriptures, nothing holds up. Nothing comes clean. Nothing is one of these things that you would ever want to envision and adventure your soul into, because they're not walking with our Creator. Revelation 14:12 very clearly, without a shadow of a doubt, says the people who are saved are commandment keepers and those who have the faith of Messiah. So if we have the faith of Messiah Yahushua, you guys would call him Jesus the Christ, because there are no J's in Hebrew. His Hebrew name was Yahushua. So when you have the faith of Yahushua, know that he is the literal Son of the Most High, and that he came and that he died. He came to die to break the curse of the Torah. He did not come to die so that we can continue living in sin. That's not how this works. We are supposed to clean up our lives, and we're supposed to start a different walk. If we're into unclean things and things that are endangering our souls, we would want to stop those. We would want to get onto a path of righteousness, to where one of the biggest commandments in all of scriptures is commandment number 11. And it says to guard your soul. And actually it says to guard the commandments. You're supposed to guard the commandments, and in turn, you're guarding your soul. But over 53 times, it tells us in scriptures that we need to guard the commandments. There's no other commandment that is reiterated as many times as this one single commandment. And so if we have something that our Creator has essentially etched into all times, reading 53 times that you guys need to guard my commandments, my laws, my statutes, all of these, but we don't, then it's going to be on us. So guys, we are neck deep into reading a tremendous, incredible book. It's the Book of Khalidi. It is out of this book right here. This is Yah Scriptures. This is the greatest English translation you will ever find. The website is yahscriptures.com. Just put those two words together and put a .com at the end of it. And guys, this is a limited edition print. This is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime edition. I don't know what the future is of Yah Scriptures, but I do know that we got our first 2,000 in, and we have made a huge, smashing dent into the prison community where we've gotten a tremendous amount. Those of you who have gotten this absolutely love it. I have no complaints whatsoever. There's nobody who says this is terrible or it's not right. And you guys can download all the free versions of it. You don't even need to buy a hard copy of it because we have the Google version, which it will work on any Android or TVs or tablets or anything like that. That is available free of charge, as well as the eSword app module for that, as well as the PDF. So every single platform is covered. This goes out worldwide. And if you'd like a hard copy, we are able to get one full copy into our brothers and sisters in chains by your support of grabbing them. And so, guys, here we are. We are into the Book of Khalidi. It's called the Book of the Nazarene because it's a kind of an alias title, an AKA, or also known as the Book of the Nazarene. And what we are doing, guys, is we are jumping neck deep into the middle of our Messiah talking about all sorts of things. And the kind of wisdom that we are able to glimmer from this is very hopeful. There's a tremendous amount that all of us can do to chisel up our armor and to make us much better candidates for the kingdom to come. We're not going to make this kingdom without fear and trembling. We're not going to do this without being humble. We know from the regular scriptures that the kingdom is a lot like children, right? It is, you have to have that kind of understanding. You have to be thinking as a child. We have to be a different set of people. The kingdom people are a complete different set of people. So, as our Messiah gives us this information and gets us dialed in, these are amazing words that we can take to heart. 48. Messiah says, providing you view everything optimistically, maintaining a cheerful and confident outlook, you will radiate assurance. Okay? Big stuff, right? It's real easy to get down in the dumps, to get gloomy. These are things that we don't hear in regular scriptures, right? Things about our demeanor. How are we perceived by others? How are we living the trials and tribulations that we have? Are we able to smile in the current conditions? Are we able to praise our Creator through every single condition, thanking Him for every trial and every tribulation that comes our way? You know, this is what we need to do. And as we do that, we need to maintain a cheerful and confident outlook. And that's hard to do, right? I'm definitely preaching to myself on this. Teaching is just for me on this because it's life is rough. Life is very, very rough. As you guys all know, these are important things. Continuing on. If you do not, you will shed despondency and gloom wherever you go. And, right, you guys remember Eeyore from the Winnie the Pooh? When everything is a problem. You know, that's the Eeyore from the Winnie the Pooh. And that dude had a lot of problems, right? He was absolutely always gloomy, and everywhere he went, how you doing, Eeyore? You know, it's not so good. So, you know, that's not what we want to be. We don't want to be like the Eeyores. We don't want to be like this. And Messiah very clearly says, we're going to shed despondency. We are going to make others gloomy. By our unhappiness, we're doing damage to the kingdom. Continuing on, he says, no man has ever succeeded in serving two masters, for his loyalties must lie with one or the other. Neither can a man have two prime objectives. He must aim for an earthly goal or a spiritual one. Big words, right? We've talked about this in the earlier readings that we had with this, that it is, Messiah very clearly says we need to have a credit line in the kingdom to come. We need to be stashing our jewels and stashing what we get in the kingdom right now. This is how we get a credit line in the future. This is how we walk into anything of any kind of riches in a brand new world to come. How have we done right here? Are we serving two masters? Do we watch TV programming? Do we allow our kids to watch TV programming? Are we allowing that master to serve our house, right? Because any type of television in your house is a master that is infiltrating your hearts, minds, and souls with great evil. It doesn't matter what you watch or how you watch it. It doesn't even matter if you watch Little House on the Prairie from back in the day. Ingalls is all a Satanist, right? The actual actor and was a Freemason. The actual real story of Laura Ingalls talks about her dad being a Freemason. It's nothing like it was on TV. And even then, they're eating pig, they're worshiping on the wrong day, right? Those aren't things you would want to indoctrinate your kids into, ever, right? Because they would see people going and worshiping on the wrong day on TV, and it would just go into their head, right? So we have to completely realign our lives in the world that we're in to the very best of our abilities for this kingdom to come. And so aim for the kingdom is what this verse is about. Messiah continues on, and he says, I advise you not to worry unduly about the future needs of the body, how it will be nourished and clothed. There is more to life than eating and comfort, while overdone, pleasure soon palls. Keep this one fact constantly in mind. The soul is of more importance than the body. Guys, these are harsh words, right? These are things that we need to understand, that, guys, we've been given this flesh that we have to walk on, but the ultimate ending for everybody that walks through it is to die, right? We're not going to make it through this world intact, right? Death is a very, very horrible thing. It's the process of it's not great. It's terrible to watch. It's obviously terrible to go through, but there's more to life than all of this. And our Creator knows every single one of our needs. One of the extracurricular spiritual things about being in Torah is that our Creator brings messengers that align themselves with you, that there is a battle going on in the world that we cannot see, that we have an advantage of, that we wouldn't have an advantage of if we were just simply doing what normal religion does, which is hating the laws of our Creator, living this grace doctrine that once saved, always saved lies, and running the Romans road to salvation, right? Which is Paul's doctrine on how to go to hell. That's what the Christians put together. I mean, that's their doctrine. I know their doctrine. I live their doctrine. But if the soul is of more importance than the body, and we are living a world that is Torah-less, imagine how dangerous this is, folks. Imagine what is going to happen to those who are Torah-less when the day of judgment comes, when we breathe our last and we have lived this entire life with never, ever choosing the path of our Creator. That's what scares me. And so we need to rock this kingdom walk. We need to dedicate and be loyal to the greatest designer humanity would even fathom, our Creator, Yahuwah. Right? This is the engineer and the mathematical genius. This is beyond any kind of greatest thinking that any mankind can even think about. And He's on our side. He loves His creations. He's like a real father. He's like a real dad, to the point where He wants to exist with us if we are willing to exist with Him. And He offers out the leaf, right? He offers out the olive leaf, and He goes, hey, listen, if you will obey my laws, statutes, and commandments, I will be your Elohim, and you will be my people. What greater place could we ever have than marching alongside or behind, wherever it is, with our Creator and our forefathers and those who have served our Creator and those who came before us that would not bow to evil, that decided that obedience was a great option, and that there's nothing wrong with being obedient to our Creator. The laws, when you look at the laws of our Creator, are very, very, very good. You don't get bad laws with our Creator. You get bad laws with man. You get bad breaking laws with Satan. But the laws of our Creator have never been found bad or erred or have any kind of problems. They are amazing when you look at them as a lifeline. Listen, when you take the Torah and when you finally find the value of the Torah, you hook this thing up as a airway into your breathing, right? It goes from Torah directly into your nostrils, and you want to be breathing this at all times because it is the gift that has been given to us of a real eternity away from all this evil, an eternity that we can count on for a better life than what we have right now. We just have to be tested, and we have to come through, and we have to come through with squeaky hands and hearts. And a lot of us don't know the laws, but now is a very, very, very good time to look at them. Now, before I get too long-winded here, I'm not doing too bad. It's 16 minutes already. Let's do another verse, and then I'm going to take you guys into these incredible laws before we leave. And I'm going to link up this app that we're using right here in the description below as well, so that you guys can grab it. This is a killer app. It's awesome. Okay, let's go. Continuing on. Think about the birds of the air. This is continuing on again about not worrying about our body, but worrying about our soul. Don't worry about the physical, worry about the spiritual. Messiah says, think about the birds of the air. They neither sow nor reap or gather in a harvest, yet provision has been made for their needs. And you think about this, and I know you guys all know what birds are. I have a little bit of different perspective of birds because we live right smack dab in the middle of a jungle where we have just every kind of bird and every kind of flock of something coming by. There isn't a morning that goes by that all of a sudden my roof, I have this tin roof, it's really, really noisy. We'll have like 15, 20 birds get on top of it, and it's all of a sudden it's like clack, 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 the whole roof lights up. My dogs go crazy. There's a tremendous amount of birds out there. And every single one of these, whenever they sit down, they always look happy, right? They're always running around grabbing stuff to eat. They all exist. I don't see birds on the ground starving to death, right? There's no bird sitting on the side of my garage with a little sign that says, feed me. It doesn't exist. So somehow these guys must always figure out how to get food, which is what this same promise is that we hear in scriptures. We hear it all through this. We hear about the lilies of the field and how much more our Creator loves us, which is all the more reason to be all the more loyal to Him. These are why we should embrace these laws, statutes, and commandments and chain them to our lives, change them to our being, change them to our attitudes, right? We're learning stuff in this book about how if we're a doomsayer, if we're naysayers, and we're doomy and gloomy, and we're filtering this off on others, how evil that is, right? Why are we bringing others down when we have so much of a positive future to look forward to? And sometimes that's what we have to do. Sometimes we have to not worry about the current, but we have to worry about that we make it through the testing and we make it to the kingdom. 120 years, which nobody makes anymore. Everybody makes it to 80-ish, right? There's some people make it a little bit more. People are really dying young, but guys, we don't have that long. When you look at 80 years versus 6,000 years versus eternity, because we know that 1,000 years is a day to our Creator. So time is infinite when you are a power like our Creator, and all we know of is the time that our Creator has given to us. So the future is here to come, and the future is really what we need to work through. Okay. Continuing on what he says, do you think any less consideration has been given to your welfare? That's a huge question, right? Obviously, there is a designer out there. I don't know how people say, the Big Bang blew something from nothing and then nothing, and then all of a sudden the monkeys have come, and then they developed, and we still have monkeys, right? Every one of these things were invented by Freemasons. They were invented by the powers that be to subject people into a trance, into a programming. And it's why you have companies like NASA. It's why you have places that have to fake space, because it's nothing but a money grab, right? It's nothing more than just that. They're not hovering around like they say they are, or they wouldn't have to fake all of the stuff that they do, right? Why is that important, and why do I bring that up? Because we have people that think our Creator is billions of light years away, versus a basic understanding that we could very well be in a terrarium, right? We could be in our own little terrarium, and it could be our Creator could be right on the outside, right? When it talks in Psalms about the earth being a footstool for our Creator, who says our Creator isn't popping right there? Isn't that's where all the action is, And so we don't need to be deceived. We need to understand that Dad, Pops, Father is right above us. And it doesn't matter if he wasn't right above us. It matters that the power of omnipotency, which is basically ultimate power, is that we can be fused into our Creator at all times. It doesn't matter what we're doing. His spirits, his ways, his essence is all around us. Nothing goes unnoticed. Nothing doesn't get written down. Nothing doesn't get tattled on us. There's messengers writing things down. Bad things we say are going to be talked about on the day of accounting. It's very, very important, right? So Messiah goes on and continues and says, trust in the powers above. And when things go wrong, try to understand the reason. This is huge, guys, right? I'm dealing with a guy right now on death row, and his name is Cedric. And he just broke down 3 emails to me talking about how he was unable to make a call to his son after he had promised him all these years, because he did end up in death row and his tablet was broken and they wouldn't let him out of his phone. They wouldn't let him out of his cell to talk to his kid, and he broke that promise. And he said he had sat on his knees and prayed and cried to our Creator, and cried and cried and cried and cried, and our Creator wouldn't do anything for him. And he hates God, is what he says. And so as much as that breaks my heart, as much as that stuff is hard to begin to even write back to, but I will, and I will absolutely be an absolute advocate for our Creator, because number one, our Creator didn't put any of us in the situation that we are in. We have all been given 2 hands, 2 eyes, 2 ears, a mouth, a huge boatload of intelligence to be able to figure out right from wrong. And if we are stuck where we are stuck, or it's in a bad place, why would we be blaming our Creator? We all have a ability to change our situation. Messiah even talked about it when he threw his coat over the back of a baby donkey, I think, a colt, a foal, maybe a horse. And he was shivering, and somebody came out and goes, Messiah, why are you shivering? And better yet, why didn't your father clothe you? And Messiah says, we have 2 hands. We have the ability to. He's like, this animal does not have the ability to put a coat on, right? So, but I can walk inside. I can change my ways, right? So we can't blame the Creator of the universe for things that could very well be part of the testing. There could be a testing period for all of us, and there always is, right? But we have to trust in the powers above and understand things aren't always going to go our way, guys. It's not. They don't. If everything is going your way, then I don't know if you're being tested the way our Creator wants to test us, right? We're not going to make it to the kingdom without some scars, without some battle wounds, without some tears, blood. It is what it is. But the Hasatan, the powers that be, hate humanity. They hate the ability that we have of our souls to be able to hang with our designer in such a way, and they've chosen such a bad way that it literally is the forces of good versus evil. And so understand the reason when things don't go the way. Messiah continues on. He goes, when you're being tried by tribulation, try and see the objective of the test. And guys, these are these things that, like, what's it? Hindsight is 2020, which you don't get it sometimes in the fire as you're sitting there basking and burning and tears are flowing. Life is just not working out. Things are just not working out. But, later something happens and you remember back to this and go, if I hadn't have gone through this and this, there's absolutely no way this would have happened. And this is like one of the greatest things in my life that ever happened, right? Sometimes we have to get burned. We have to get sizzled up. We have to get fried to make it through that other side. But guys, keep on running. That's the bottom line, is keep on running. And guys, from what Messiah says, let's keep on running with a smile, right? Let's not take our anger. Let's not take our despair. Let's not push this on others. Let's do everything possible that we can push ourselves out of the dumps, that we can be a positive influence to those around us, and that we are worthy of the kingdom to come. So with that, everybody, much love to everybody out there. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm out.